This is my review on a Bruce Lee movie. Not an actual Bruce Lee movie, when someone plays Bruce Lee. Title: Dragon, the Bruce Lee Story. Oh boy. It's a 0 out of 10. The guy that this version of Bruce Lee is an asshole. This is obviously bullshit, because I bet it was 100% horseshit, because the reason why I'm calling this movie 100% horseshit, and they didn't know anything about the guy outside of his movies, is because the guy that plays Bruce Lee, when he fights on and off camera, he makes the silly sounds when he fights. You know, Bruce Lee did that only because, as a acting thing he did, to act. He only did it when he was acting, when he was fighting, and also slowed down his martial art moves to make it more make it look more like a dance. Including him, basically doing a little tiptoe boxing dance, and in the fight scenes before he actually attacked his opponents, and you know, that's who Bruce Lee was. That's why he did those things only in his movies, and not really in the real life. Because in real life, he was a lot faster than when he was in his movies, a lot. And he only, slowed down because, so the camera could pick up his movement. He actually explained that in an interview multiple times on camera. If you ever watch when he's being interviewed. And he always wanted to play the thing is, he would play a cocky arrogant version of himself that's really exaggerated, far from who he is in real life, because he wants to play that kind of character in his movies usually, so. And that's the problem with all of the Bruce Lee movies that I'm going to talk about, which is called Bruce Lee, the Man, Myth, and the Legend. Bruce Lee, the Man, and the Myth. Bruce Lee, the Man, the Myth. Bruce of the Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. All get a 0 out of 10 because they follow the same exact problem. They don't want to really focus on who Bruce Lee was as a person, but the characters he played, and whenever he did action stuff in his own movies. And have that be the main protagonist and claim that that's the real Bruce Lee, when it's just a reality, a big fucking white lie. A big fat lie, yes. James Cameron's Titanic is a fucking fat lie. So many other true story movies are fucking fat lies. So yeah, all three movies get a 0 out of 10. Can bite me. And I'm not sure what any of these stories are. Each films are basically the stories we've seen in Bruce Lee movies that actually starred Bruce Lee when he acted for action movies. All three of these movies of this plot MacGuffins that are done in every out of martial art movies, including Bruce Lee movies, except Bruce Lee did them the best. One of the people that did them the best in terms of executing them. So that's what they want to treat the movies about the real Bruce Lee like the action stories were who he was, and this is just all stupid. And they claim to all of them claim to we did this in honor of Bruce Lee's legacy, his life. And I really say horseshit to that. Horseshit, 100% horseshit. So yeah. Fuck these movies.